West Wing Week.
Welcome to the West Wing Week, your guide to everything that's happening at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This week, the president hosted the new president of China at a two-day informal summit in California, spoke on the importance of supporting the implementation of the Affordable Care Act and comprehensive immigration reform, promoted a top economic advisor at the White House, and honored the LGBT community. That's June 7th to June 13th, or there's an app for that. On Friday, the president kicked off a three-day visit to California. The president's first stop was San Jose, where he spoke about the implementation of the Affordable Care Act and encouraged Americans to take advantage of the expanded, cheaper access they'll get to health care.
The main message I want for Californians and people all across the country, starting on October 1st, if you're in the individual market, you can get a better deal. If you're a small business, you can get a better deal through these exchanges. You've got to sign up healthcare.gov or here in California, coveredca.com.
Then, the president traveled to the famed Sunnylands Estate in ever-sunny Palm Springs, California, to host an informal two-day summit with the president of China. The gathering featured bilateral meetings, a working dinner, and informal meetings both inside and outside, where the leaders discussed cybersecurity, climate change, economic growth, and overcoming the differences to forge a new relationship between our two countries. Before leaving sunny California, West Wing Week caught up with Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes for his analysis of what the Chinese visit had achieved.
What we talked about here is how to have a relationship where the U.S. and China can disagree on issues where we have differences, but those differences don't have to necessarily derail our entire relationship. That's the type of investment we wanted to make in this new leader of China, Xi Jinping, and in a very important relationship for the American people.
On Monday, the president honored the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Equal Pay Act by President Kennedy in 1963 and called for more progress to eliminate the wage gap between men and women.
So to anyone who says 77 cents on the dollar sounds pretty close to equal, I say your math is bad. You wouldn't like it if you were forced to work every fourth day without pay. Men would be complaining about that. They wouldn't think that was equal or fair. So this is the 21st century. It's time to close that gap.
Then, the president nominated Jason Furman to replace Alan Krueger as the chairman of the White House Council of Economic Advisors.
There are some basic steps that we can take to strengthen the position of working people in this country. But it also requires good economists. I know it's called a dismal science, but I don't find it that dismal. I think it's actually pretty interesting. Alan and Jason appreciate that. But this stuff matters. It's not just numbers on a page.
On Tuesday, the president spoke about the need for Congress to pass bipartisan immigration reform. He was joined by a diverse collection of business, labor, and faith leaders, as well as law enforcement and other community leaders from across the country, and called for action on this critical piece of legislation.
This much is clear. If you genuinely believe we need to fix our broken immigration system, there's no good reason to stand in the way of this bill. A lot of people, Democrats and Republicans, have done a lot of good work on this bill. So if you're serious about actually fixing the system, then this is the vehicle to do it.
Then, the president hosted the president of Peru at the White House. The two leaders discussed a range of topics, but focused on how to strengthen the economy in both countries. At the end of the day, the president hosted the screening of The President's Gatekeepers, a 4-hour documentary that explores the position of the White House Chief of Staff, often described as the second toughest job in Washington. On Wednesday, the president hosted a Champions of Change event, honoring individuals working to support children of incarcerated parents and their families. Abby Cadabby and the Cookie Monster were on hand to help promote a new Sesame Street production geared toward helping children deal with this kind of emotional challenge. And yes, there were pictures. On Thursday, the president welcomed to the Oval Office Congressman John Dingell of Michigan, who just set the record as the longest-serving member of Congress with his 20,997th day as representative. Congressman Dingell's tenure spans more than a quarter of the entire existence of the United States Congress. He then hosted members and allies of the LGBT community for the 5th Pride Month celebration at the White House.
The genius of America is that America can change.
To find out more information on any of these Cookie Monster topics or to see complete videos of these events, go to whitehouse.gov. And thanks again for checking out your West Wing Week.